This week on Tom Bob Outdoors, we celebrate the 100th anniversary of the reintroduction of elk into Pennsylvania. Join us as we visit the Elk Country Visitor Center in Benezet, PA, then take a scenic motorcycle ride for the elk through the PA wilds. But first, host Raleigh Kogan gives us a tour of the 2013 Elk Expo. Stay tuned, you're watching Friends in Wild Places.
Walking on the wild side, wide open every time, letting it fly. You can find me high on the mountaintop, floating down a river rock, living for the ride. If you really want room to run, I'll show you where to get it done. Step off the back porch, jump across the fence, don't let the barbed wire catch you in the pants. I'll be waiting in the bottom by the Tom Bob Creek. Come on, take a walk on the wild side with me.
It's a great day at the Visitor Center. We're going to have a great day. The sun is shining. Stand up.
Welcome to the Elk Expo 2013. A great place. We're glad to be here. We're ready to kick this off and raise the flag. So, welcome the Elk Expo back to Elk Country.
How many samples did you have?
My first one.
Hello, here we are at the Elk Expo in Elk Country, Pennsylvania. Haven't been here since 2008. We're happy to have it back in Elk Country here with Tom Grace, a longtime contributor to Keystone Elk Country Alliance and a supporter of Pennsylvania's Elk Country. What a great day in Elk Country.
Oh, beautiful day, Raleigh. Congratulations on such an excellent turnout. I think you've got a home run here for the first day of the event, for the first inaugural day. Fantastic.
To have people come in to Pennsylvania's Elk Country and to celebrate what we have here, pretty gratifying for all of us that, work in it every single day. But we have people here that they may be experiencing it for the first time and they're having a good time.
We hope we turn them into alcoholics again. Yeah. And I've talked to a lot of people today that didn't even know this was going on, and they're surprised at the amount of people that are here, and they're eager and anxious to be here next year already.
Good, and we've got some really high-quality vendors here.
Absolutely.
They're talking the conservation message. They're in the conservation business, and people are actually going through here and they're learning, and they're also able to purchase product and merchandising. So it's going really well for the vendors too.
What I like to see is the amount of families that are here. A lot of little kids, a lot of the people that we need to get interested in our elk country that's here, learn about it, understand it, and just make them proactive and pro-hunting and educated.
You bet. And one of the things that we talk about today is elk country is a lot of things. Elk country is not just elk. I mean, elk country is turkeys. Elk country is some of the most beautiful scenic rivers, and some of the vistas that we have are fantastic. It's all part of elk country. And so whether you like deer, you like bears, you like bluebirds, elk country's got it. And these people are coming here and getting that whole experience. Speaking of the youth, Tom, the youth shooting sports display we have that you funded, we appreciate you doing that. I went by it a dozen times today. There were kids shooting there all day long.
Great. That's what it's all about. That's why we like to sponsor things like this. KECA is a great organization, not only for the elk, but to educate these kids and to use that trailer for that type of shooting and education is just what we're looking for.
They are the future.
Absolutely.
No doubt. They're not just the future of elk country, they're the future of conservation. So we're happy to play that role, and we appreciate your support.
Glad to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. 2001, I've found this behind my barn that we was looking to feed cows and that stuff, and he happened to jump a ditch, and we saw this horn here. And it has a total of 13 points on this beam. It weighs 26.5 pounds, and it's called Crazy Legs animal. The animal had a total of 40 to 50 pounds of antler on it. Everybody talks about this animal. It's called Crazy Legs, and we have a lot of people interested in it, so I figured I'd have the opportunity to show this horn to people. People don't realize how big the web is, as far as you put my hand on here and you can barely get across the web. And I'd like to show that crack right there too. I don't know how, if it was fighting with another bull, but to crack 2-inch thick of bone, that's very impressive, how much force these animals have. Here's the animal I just presented to you as far as the shed went, and this here is a computer enhanced, because we couldn't find one. We had one with the collar on it, so we took the collar off, and it shows how massive that was on the animal, so it'd be called Crazy Legs. He sort of had a gait that he couldn't really run in that stuff. His head always tilted towards the heaviest side of the animal, and that's because of the horn that I presented earlier. And you can see by the picture that he had a massive horns of probably between 40 and 50 pounds of antler on his head. So just imagine what that would feel like if you had that much weight on top of your head and tried to go through the woods or the fields and that stuff at a run. And he was very pleasurable to watch. He was a tremendous animal, and I'm sorry we don't have him around, but I've noticed that gene factors in the other animals that there's going to be another Crazy Legs one of these days.
Now as host Raleigh Kogan gives us a tour of the home of the Keystone Elk Country Alliance, the Elk Country Visitor Center, located in beautiful Benezet, Pennsylvania.
Now that's what Experience Elk Country is all about, the Pennsylvania style, the Keystone Elk Country Alliance way. I'm Raleigh Kogan, President and CEO of the Keystone Elk Country Alliance, and welcome to our home, the headquarters of the Keystone Elk Country Alliance here at the Elk Country Visitor Center. The Keystone Elk Country Alliance has accomplished a great deal in 2012, not the least of which is operating the Elk Country Visitor Center in partnership with the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. We have welcomed over 200,000 visitors here last year alone, and we are proud to play that role.
Yes, sir. Having fun with Tom Bob Outdoors.
I'm Raleigh Kogan, President and CEO of the Keystone Elk Country Alliance, and welcome to our home, the headquarters of the Keystone Elk Country Alliance here at the Elk Country Visitor Center. The Keystone Elk Country Alliance has accomplished a great deal in 2012, not the least of which is operating the Elk Country Visitor Center in partnership with the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. We have welcomed over 200,000 visitors here last year alone, and we are proud to play that role. The Elk Country Visitor Center is a wonderful example of when people committed to habitat stewardship, conservation education, and economic development come together and build this wonderful destination. The Keystone Elk Country Alliance and the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources pool our resources to build this destination. It's a wonderful example of a private-public partnership. The Keystone Elk Country Alliance is a leader in conservation education. In 2012, we launched our distance learning program. Using the internet, we can take Elk Country on the road to any school in our region, in our state, or in the country. We designed, printed, and distributed the inaugural issues of Tracks and Racks, the Alliance's full-color magazine.
The Elk Country Visitor Center, a premier conservation education facility, values education as our top priority. Our highly qualified staff hosts schools and scout groups of all ages, providing educational programs on elk, Pennsylvania wildlife, sustainable practices, the center as a leader in energy and environmental design, natural history of the region, and conservation in general. Here in the heart of the Pennsylvania wilds, informational presentations are taught on all aspects of elk, as well as on many other fascinating nature topics which teach a strong message of conservation and stewardship. Often these lessons are taught outdoors, where the students are actually watching the wild elk graze in the lush forage plots that surround the center. Obviously, the best educational practice is to bring your students to the Elk Country Visitor Center. However, we understand that this is not always possible, so we are working hard to bring these amazing experiences to you. As we keep pace with the rapidly changing educational needs of a global society, the Keystone Elk Country Alliance is bridging geographical barriers by launching its innovative and exciting distance learning program to provide a unique opportunity for children to experience a special sense of connectedness to nature and especially to elk in the Pennsylvania wilds. This interactive and engaging learning adventure is ideal for both left and right brain learners and provides all children with a multi-sensory intellectual immersion into many facets of the biological and environmental sciences. Multiple intelligences are cultivated as students delve into numerous experiences which develop new insight within language, math, visual, spatial, and naturalist intelligence realms.
So it's a great experience for these kids.
Our video conferencing lessons are not only age-appropriate and cross-curricular, but are aligned with the Pennsylvania State Education Standards. Classroom activities are enhanced by a traveling elk trunk containing many hands-on items which is sent to each participating classroom prior to the scheduled distance learning session. Both indoor and outdoor adventures await on this cutting-edge virtual field trip experience. Through the latest technology, students can enjoy outdoor lessons where they view elk and other native Pennsylvania species in their natural habitat. It's the next best thing to being here. All students receive our original elk activity book, which reinforces and enhances both our in-house field trip as well as our virtual learning adventures. Teachers may schedule either a physical or a virtual field trip by contacting the conservation education staff at the Elk Country Visitor Center.
The Keystone Elk Country Alliance's membership hit an all-time high in 2012, nearly 2,000 members, and that is growing. The Alliance is membership-based, but we are volunteer-driven. Our volunteers logged over 2,600 hours here at the Elk Country Visitor Center, and for that we are thankful, because without their expertise, without their wisdom, without their experience and dedication, we could not do what we do here at the Elk Country Visitor Center. Through the purchase of lime, seed, and fertilizer, the Keystone Elk Country Alliance enhanced hundreds of acres here at the Elk Country Visitor Center, We enhance hundreds more through mowing in partnership with DCNR and the Pennsylvania Game Commission on state forest lands and state game lands. In 2012, the Keystone Elk Country Alliance launched Energy and Conservation, Fueling Habitat Improvement, a program aimed at partnering with energy industry to enhance habitat on the power lines and rights-of-ways. In 2012, we welcomed 2 new chapters to the Keystone Elk Country Alliance, the Laurel Highlands chapter in Johnstown and the Clinton County chapter in Lock Haven. At the Elk Country Visitor Center, we strive to provide a high-quality experience in Pennsylvania's elk country. We designed and purchased a custom 28-passenger wagon. The experiences people get on that wagon are spectacular. The video and photography opportunities are fantastic. There is no place in the country that we know of that has any experience like this. In 2012, our friends at Grice Gun Shop sponsored this enclosed trailer. The Keystone Elk Country Alliance will take that trailer from banquet to show to county fairs all across Pennsylvania. What a marketing opportunity for the Keystone Elk Country Alliance, and we certainly are thankful to our friends at Grice Gun Shop. In 1913, the Pennsylvania Game Commission went into Yellowstone National Park, the Wind Cave herd in South Dakota, and transported elk by railroad back into Pennsylvania. A total of 177 elk transported back into our state. The elk we have in our state today are the offspring from those initial reintroductions. What a milestone. Pennsylvania has a rich wildlife heritage. We congratulate the Pennsylvania Game Commission as well as DCNR for their role in this historic milestone. I am proud of the accomplishments of the Keystone Elk Country Alliance, and you should be too. We have done all of this work and touched the lives of over 500,000 guests in 3 short years. The Alliance may be the new kid on the conservation block, but our leadership, our membership, and our dedicated volunteers are not new to wildlife conservation. In 2013 will mark the 100th anniversary of elk restoration in Pennsylvania. Many people have worked diligently for many years and in many different ways, lending a hand to Pennsylvania's elk herd. This year, we will celebrate this wildlife success story with the Pennsylvania Game Commission, the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, and the many organizations that played a role.
What better way to celebrate the reintroduction of elk into this beautiful state than a motorcycle ride through elk country? Join us on Tom Bob Outdoors as we take a ride for the elk. A beautifully scenic ride through elk country that involves stops at a few local watering holes and one rockin' good time. The ride for the elk starts in DuBois, Pennsylvania at the legendary Hitching Post, where we had a chance to sit down with owner Robin to talk about the history of the post.
My dad was the first to have Hot Wings here in DuBois, and it's been great ever since then. We're a 24-hour business that has 6-packs and a different variety of craft beers. We have a great variety of that. We're open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We never close. We love having the elk ride start here. We had it last year. It was a great time. We'll do anything to help support them. I think we just take for granted that we have the elk here. There are not a lot of places. It's something that we kind of overlook, and it can't be overlooked. It needs all the help that it can have. We've always been a biker bar, a nice biker bar. It's great to see the parking lot filled up with bikes. It's a lot of fun. Back in the day, I've known of stories whenever my dad first opened that he let the bikes come in the front door, and we burnouts back here where the pool tables are now. They didn't have pool tables then, but that's always been a part of the Hitching Post. It's always going to be a part of the Hitching Post. Over the summer, throughout the fall, and into the holidays, we definitely have live music. We have 4 pool tables, we have darts, we have air hockey, we have a Miss Pac-Man vintage arcade machine. We have the touch machines, we have a lot here. We have rooms in the back. Stay a little too long, don't feel like leaving, you're always more than welcome to stay.
Well, thanks for your hospitality, Robin. Now let's ride. Our ride starts off in Pennsylvania style, wet and rainy, but what an adventure. And in usual style, some of our posse members may or may not have had something to do with our escort. Our second stop on the ride is the Meadix Hotel, where they welcomed us with open arms and great food and drink. You never know what to expect at the Meetix Hotel, but it's guaranteed to be fun. Now off for a trip through Cinemahoning and all the beautiful views, and a brief stop at the Willows for its absolutely stunning visuals and even time to dry off because the rain finally let up. Now once again, we're back on the road to the heart of Elk Country and on our way to the Visitor Center. Once at the Visitor Center, the Randy Paul Band was set up and ready to play when sadly a thunderstorm forced us to go inside, but we still had a good time because we got to check out all the bike displays and fun indoor activities the Elk Center has to offer. No matter what, it was a great day for a ride in Elk Country, Pennsylvania.